Welcome to Manitoba Music Makers. I'm Frank McGwire. Thanks for tuning in. This episode has been a long time in the making. We're going to get into an artist that's local. He's from Harding, Manitoba, just down the road. Most everything is down the road in western Manitoba, right? So we're going to talk about just prairie skies, open roads, music like that, rootsy stuff. Martin Finnie is my guest. He's an organic farmer. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about organic music too, because a lot of his stuff is kind of written on the farm, and just about his process on how he creates music, because that's what Triple M is all about. We dig into the artists that we feature on the show. We're going to talk about a recent tour he had that took him right across Western Canada, and a whole lot more. But right now I'd like to welcome him to the Triple M studios. Martin Finnie.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for coming on and doing the show. This has been a long time.
Huge fan.
Well, good. I'm a fan of yours too, so that's awesome. We were trying to get this going just before you went on your tour last fall, but well, obviously you got to go play shows. But then when you got back, we were trying to ram it in early 2026, and then some scheduling flaws happened from me and from you, and then you got sick for a while. Good to see that you're healthy now.
Back in action.
And here you are. So thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. We were just talking off camera about, you know, the show. We just like to talk about music. But in your case, Martin, we're going to talk about your music, because we want to know how you go through your creating process, your creativity, which, you know, you're quite a prolific guy when it comes to writing. Just the whole process of it. But let's start back to when you first started playing in bands. You were still a teenager when you were in your first bands. Talk about those bands and how that experience helped you grow as a singer-songwriter.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was lucky to grow up in a household with a lot of music going on, a lot of records. I was a big fan of KX96 and Shotgun McGwire on the radio.
Well, that was 1150, the Shotgun McGwire.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's when I crossed over. Do you remember when I first started? It was 93. I came from a rock show. The format changed. They went pop. So I went from playing Zeppelin to Michael Jackson, which, you know, love Michael Jackson, super talented, but not my lane. And one thing led to another, and they said, you're going to go on 1150. And I was scared to death, because it was half country, half middle of the road.
We all wondered where you went, Frank. It was a scary time.
But that's when I delved into that middle of the road 70s stuff mixed with the country, and I really learned to love the genre.
Absolutely.
So you come from that end of the scale with your career. 17 was when you first kind of got
I started to move into music around 17. I grew up as a very athletic guy. I ended up getting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma when I was 16 years old, so I had to kind of end my my hockey career dream, shifted towards other interests, and that happened to be music.
What league were you playing, and refresh my memory?
I was playing with the AAA Yellowhead Chiefs.
There we go. Yeah.
In the you know the U18 Manitoba AAA league.
Right on.
So yeah, it was a great opportunity to try some different things. I started up in a band called Calvin's Angels, which was based out of my hometown school of Hamiota. It involved Calvin Lintz and Derek Lintz, Jesse Gray from Verdun, Ryan Gertzen, also from Hamiota, and myself. And we played the big festival we played at. I had a local music festival called Finnie Fest back in the day.
I recall that. Yep.
So we
I
would
have written about that in my newspaper column over the years.
Okay, well, we kind of just got things together for that, and really once we started playing cover music, we ended up writing a couple of songs out of the whole experience, and that's kind of where my journey with songwriting began.
But that was when you were a teen and getting out of hockey, and of course your illness. But
absolutely.
You've been a part of a lot of bands over the years. The Farmers, was Route 10 Collective one of them?
Yep, absolutely.
So I mean, these are great bands that are still happening today, still active. Talk about your experiences with those bands.
Absolutely.
And how that shaped you to the artist you've become today.
Absolutely. Well, I played in a band called The Farmers with Jody Weeger, who resides near Harding now. He was from Brandon originally, and Thomas Matthews, who was originally from Ontario, but he is a school teacher, teaches fiddle. And we did all original music. We were a three-piece band, kind of a bluegrass genre, but we just really enjoyed writing original music and basically celebrating, you know, the fact that we can create together and celebrate some of the aspects of sustainable living. You touched on, I'm also an organic farmer, so we were all actually kind of farmers in the group, and it absolutely shaped the songwriting experience. I spent some time playing with the group Route 10 Collective, which has Ian Eady in the group and Patrick Sullivan and Murray Evans in the group. And at the time, there was a couple of other members, but we played Harvest Sun, I think, music festival we played. And
it's a great festival. They sold that one out this year.
Yeah, it's always been a fantastic festival. I remember we played
Kelwood, Manitoba.
In Kelwood, absolutely. And we did a cover. We would do cover shows with the Route 10, and we did one up in Clear Lake, and I did a cover of Neil Young's "Helpless." So that was really exhilarating. I got to play the harmonica part.
Would do those theme nights?
Absolutely,
they did the band one year, and
they would do from Steely Dan to just absolutely immaculate reenactments.
And you did the Neil Young classic.
I did the Neil Young "Helpless," alongside Katie Slimmin was with me on that one too. It was a lot of fun.
That would be just an amazing experience. So you've mentioned that your songwriting has smoothened the edges out over the years. How raw was it, and how smooth have you got it?
Well, I know that it's not polished as it should be, that's for sure. But it's a process. You start using maybe less words. You just kind of start getting a little more direct and cutting to the chase a little more. I think Tom Petty had a great quote. I think, "Don't bore us, cut to the chorus," or "get to the chorus." That definitely influenced me. I think that way when I dig into writing a song. I think about, well, is someone falling asleep or not?
Right. Some of those songs, some of the more memorable songs, it's interesting to note that the chorus comes a little earlier than most other tunes.
True.
And repeats more often because it's one of those earworms that sticks with you and makes the song popular and gets everybody
a
into
hook.
it.
Yep, there's always
the hook.
There's always a need for a.
You're an organic farmer. The lifestyle is like woven right into your music, Martin. Would you call yourself an organic songwriter too? Because I mean, one would, that way of life would blend into your music making, would it not?
Yep, absolutely. Songwriting experiences sometimes when you have it, like I do a lot of writing from the experiences I have on the land with the animals and with the plants, but it's something that takes shape over time. But it's heavily influenced how I set out to write a song. It's about listening. Some of the rhythms are the same. You can hear, water running, wind blowing. I find a lot of those words, wind, water, sun, in my songs probably too much. But it's just something that your life experiences and something that I'm so passionate about, which is organic farming. I have bison is the livestock element on our farm, and we grow organic crops from wheat to flax to oats, just a wide variety, black lentils. We're very lucky to experience that and then infuse that, be able to sing about it and share that with the world.
And I would imagine that that farming, the organic farming, is quite therapeutic for one as well. So is expressing oneself through music good for the soul, So that would be therapeutic as well. So we're going to let you lay some therapy on us right now. One of the first songs that you'll be playing two. We like to have our Triple M guests do at least two off the floor here in the studio. So what's the first one? Lead us into it, and I'll let you take over here.
Okay, you bet. Well, thank you. And the first song is called Tell Me Where You Want Me Now. And the song is basically about reflecting on one's life where you kind of come to a crossroads where you've had a lot happening, maybe a lot of turmoil in your life, and you just kind of want to know, just where do you want me now? You know, like, just tell me what position you want me to play, and I'm there. Let's go.
All right. Check it out now on Manitoba Music Makers, Martin Finnie.
Listening to the trumpet sound, tell me where you want me now. Been lit up on, I've been shot down, tell me where you want me now. Just tell me where you want me now. Is it inside out or upside down? Am I up too high? Will I hit the ground? Just tell me where you want me now. Just tell me where you want me now. When the smoke goes up and all around, tell me where you want me now. When your high turns into a frown, tell me where you want me now. Just tell me where you want me now. Is it inside out or upside down? Am I up so high, will I hit the ground? Just tell me where you want me now. Just tell me, babe, you want me now. Listening to the trumpet sound, tell me where you want me now.
All right. Tell me where you want me, Coach. Martin Finnie on Triple M there, live off the floor. Gotta love that stuff. So your music blends a lot of different genres. You got folk going on there. I've noticed indie, some country, even a little bit of flashes of reggae from time to time. So when you sit down to write, Martin, how do you know what genre a song wants to live in?
Well, that's a very good question and a difficult question. A lot of the times I will take an inspiration, say even I'll have a dream, I'll wake up, and then usually in the morning is when I do a lot of writing. It just kind of, you have to seize the moment when the inspiration strikes is my best advice. And as far as sometimes that just comes in a reggae chord structure or a country sound. I think that maybe resonates with. I have a really wide variety of music that I listen to, so I probably have to give credit to my dad, John Finnie, who was always on the record player, and my sister and her husband, Danny Turner, Trisha Turner is her name. They play in a band called the Young Pixels.
That's right. Yeah.
So They were always playing music and listening to music that was just of such a wide variety of genre that I think that's just kind of all absorbed in, and you just never know why, or I can't usually peg as to why an inspiration comes in a particular sound, but that's how I write. Yeah.
We're all conduits, and some of us filter those influences better than others, right? And yours come. You talked about. Mentioned you had a dream, and that dream would formulate a song. So what is it like? You got like your own personal transistor radio hooked up in your cerebellum, or what's going on there, Martin?
I wouldn't say that.
That sounds deep, man.
Well, it's not every song that happens that way, and maybe you just you never know when it's going to happen. But yeah, it just has happened for me. Sometimes I've heard of other creative individuals. They seem to have that happen. You just don't know. It's part of the magic and the mystery, I guess. One
of your songs that captures the prairie openness is coming up. We're going to get you to play it in a bit. I'm going to ask you a little bit about that. It's my favorite. I did a little bit of a deep dive. I did a deep dive on Martin Finnie just the other night as I was researching for this conversation. And there's some stuff that you'll find on YouTube if you go down the rabbit hole that you're going to enjoy. So I invite listeners, not now, don't do it now, keep watching this program, but if you want to support a local artist, Martin Finnie's the way to go. So we'll talk about that song because that's going to be your second selection recorded here. Let's talk about that tour, because we were trying to organize your guest spot on Triple M here, fall of 25. So last fall, you went out west with some friends. It was a fantastic experience, I can imagine. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, well, yeah, it was a fabulous experience. It was organized by Logan McKillop, his brother Colton McKillop, who was also a songwriter in the mix, and Richard Inman joined us once we headed a little farther west. Essentially, it was a tour designed around storytelling and singing and songwriting. So we would do like a songwriter's circle and just kind of pass the song around. Some of the wonderful gigs that we ended up playing were, we had a nice sold-out show at Good Street Hall. Thank you to the great people at Good Street Hall up around Clear Lake. They threw on, a wonderful full house. And another exciting event in Manitoba was at the West End Cultural Centre. I had never played there before, so it was a very exciting experience under the lights, and yeah, you made a person feel like a real young rock star there.
Right on. How far west did you guys go?
We went all the way out to Vancouver Island, and so shows through Red Deer, Lethbridge, East End, Saskatchewan was another notable place. And it wasn't in the east end of Saskatchewan. It was in the west side of Saskatchewan, but it was a very unique character place.
Town wasn't founded by a geography major?
I don't think so. No. I don't think so. No.
That's neat, though. It gives it a uniqueness, right?
It sure was.
That's cool. So you put a lot of a lot of miles on the van, a lot of stories swapping, not only in your shows, but probably when you're putting the miles on the van.
Yes.
Did one stand out to you that you could share with us?
Well, yeah, I was the driver, I guess, and we ended up taking my truck. So it was a four-seater or extended cab truck. But anyways, we had a good endeavor, I guess. We ended up getting lost a few times. But one of the major issues was we had a cooler that was packed with, let's say, kindly gifts from family members of like egg sandwiches / some things that maybe shouldn't should get eaten very, very quickly if you're on that kind of a tour with your mates. So anyways, we did learn some hard lessons. We did have some very tight nights in the hotel room. I do remember sleeping. I did have to leave the hotel room in Red Deer and sleep in the truck, but that was the only night. That was the only
You
thing.
do what you got to do. Red Deer's a great town.
Yes.
I was out there
It must
just
have been Red Deer.
a couple weeks ago with my family. We did a little Western road trip. Lots of fun.
Yeah, beautiful place.
I'm going to get you to play another song, and then we've got some pictures that we're going to roll through. We like to do. It's called the Triple M Video Scrapbook, and it's basically rolling through some moments of your career, and you're going to describe the photos. But we'll get to that after we get to another song, and this is the one I requested. Please indulge me. Set up Old Bones Buffalo, because I love this tune.
Okay. Yeah, Old Bones Buffalo is, was a song that was written, I guess it was quite a long time ago now, 2008. And the song was written in a life experience with my grandpa. And we were out on the land. As I said earlier, I'm a bison farmer, and we were encountering, the harvest of a bison bull, and it just caused for some very deep thinking and some deep feeling about the whole entire process and the history and what the American bison have been through, and it just asked some questions, just as to where they come from and how they are, in the world. They're a very powerful force, is all I can say, just majestic, and there's a lot of spiritual power and a lot of magic behind them. Mm-hmm. So the song basically reflects on those aspects and tries to journey down, imagining, life. So on the plains.
The scene is on the plains, bison just out on the prairie. I knew you wrote this song outdoors, under the canopy of the stars, or was it during the day?
Both. The experience led into the night, into a campfire, so it was a bit of both, but it allowed to provide just that. It was such an expansive environment that I was in that you just couldn't contain, that energy in just, without song and everything else that comes with it. So I did my best, but there's a lot to discover out there, and dig in. I suggest to everybody.
And all these years later, we get to hear it here with Manitoba Music Makers on WCG-TV. Old Bones Buffalo. Here's Martin Finnie once again. Turn up your TV.
It's always the cold eyes that trip in my mind's eye. And I walk the halls, I'm just a-looking every time you fall. And Old Bones Buffalo, where did you go? And I'm singing Old Bones Buffalo. How did you know? No. The valley's filled with snow, and separated by a quiet glow, and there's children speaking with the spirit of buffalo. And they going, Old Bones Buffalo, where did you go? And I'm singing Old Bones Buffalo. How did you know? No. I'm walking the plains again. I'm just looking for the love you sent me. I'll never see my home again. Take me with you, baby, in the end. Old Bones Buffalo, where did you go? And I'm singing Old Bones Buffalo. How did you know? No, yeah. No.
All right, Old Bones Buffalo, love it. Martin Finnie on Triple M, and one of my favorites. That was actually the first song of yours I listened to. That was it. And you said that was done in 08?
Yeah.
Okay.
When it was written. Yeah.
Have you noticed any changes, like a song that old, that you do little tweaks to over the years after performing it so many times? A song's got to maybe, I don't know, maybe not take a different direction, but take a different shape over the years. And talk about that process, because that always interests me, the improvisational aspect of an artist playing on the stage and not knowing they're going to do it until they actually do it in the middle of a song, and they go, hey, that felt pretty good and got a pretty good reaction. I'm going to keep that. Do you go through those changes?
Absolutely. It depends if I'm playing as a solo artist or if I have a band. I have played in the past, and we're working on a band right now called Dirt Forever. But when playing in the band, the songs can take on a little different rhythmic feel, sometimes heading a little more, depending on the drummer or the artists in the band, it can swing a little more towards a reggae feel in the rhythm. But the beat, the drumming in it is very strong in that song. It's really what drives it. It's something that kind of you can hear from quite far away that comes in. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so you mentioned the new band that you got going. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's go to the photo segment. Sean, in the booth there, can you roll some pictures? We're just going to go through pictures, and you tell us, just describe what's going on here. It looks like you're with the group.
Okay, yeah, that's Ken Jaworski and Jody Weger, Ingrid Gatton, Tom Matthews on fiddle there, Patrick Sullivan's on the bass, and Logan McKillop on guitar there. We're at the Park East End Community Center, actually. And I think that was it was just an evening fundraiser that Patrick and Jillian Sullivan had thrown, and we're in the middle of Old Bones Buffalo, I believe. It looks like it.
All right, next photo. Are you tuning there?
I think we're just tuning up to start, and I can see Dave Barnes from Brandon there in the front. And we're just tuning up to start the show with Lucinda Williams's Crescent City, I believe.
And you've performed at the Barnes Bash over the years, haven't you?
I have too, yes. The Barnes Burner. I have been a guest there. Yes, a couple of seasons there.
Actually, I see your songbook off to the right there. And here's one, just a kind of a reflective moment. Is that your good side?
Yeah.
And cool shades, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Home Life. That's where you'll see me trying to write songs, trying to get some ideas off the ground.
Do you find that red paint just sparks the creativity?
The paint changes. Yeah, the paint has changed since my recent separation, so that's another story. But new colors make for brighter futures.
What you're telling me is that's not a red wall in your house anymore?
No, not anymore.
All right. I like that look. You get the shades of that. You got a little bit of a John Lennon vibe going there. And Logan here, and you got some health drinks in front of you.
Yes, this is us at the wonderful Section 6 brewery show this past, I guess it was in November. That's Logan McKillop, and we're just getting ready to set up shop there.
Excellent.
Great venue.
So that's a pre-gig shot. And then this one here, where is this? This is interesting.
Well, this is in Macaulay, Manitoba, and that's Cameron Nolan on drums and Brett Hemrica on the Telecaster. And we're at my cousin's wedding social. Alana Webb was getting married to her husband Mike, and that was their pre-wedding social in Macaulay. Heck of a party town.
You got like fantastic recall on these, Martin. I love it. And this one here, you're out on the porch, and who knows, you could be rolling through Old Bones Buffalo right there.
Well, I probably am. It's I think this was a promo shot for the tour, and that's a cabin that I have out in the countryside that I like to go to write songs and enjoy life.
It looks like you're looking at that empty chair.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a
let's play a new game.
Just
creativity is sparking right now. Let's play caption that photo. You could go with the simple, direct.
Okay.
Finnie staring at a chair, but that just doesn't. It's not.
Where did I go wrong?
Where did I go wrong? In terms of what, the song, or is it a bigger thing?
That was the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, it could be a variation of things. But yeah, I must be in a a moment. That could be what it is. Yep.
Viewers, if you've got a better caption, write in today and give us your caption with Martin Finnie playing guitar, staring at a chair. Next photo, please. There's that promo shot of that tour we were talking about.
You betcha. Yep, that's the Western Canadian tour. That's Colton and me and Logan, and we're just probably heading off to the Western Canadian, to the WEC there for the show in Winnipeg.
Where's Richard?
Richard caught up with us out in Saskatchewan and Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of touring, Martin, you know that touring often changes how an artist sees their own songs and definitely hears their own songs and also see how they go over, right? Because a different audience every night. So did any of your tracks take on kind of a new meaning or some maybe new energy during that tour?
Absolutely, yeah. It was every show was really unique in that some of them were smaller house concerts. So it was really interesting to interact with the audience. I remember a moment in Calgary. At a bar in Calgary, and we were playing, I think it was Old Bones Buffalo, and I started to see people kind of pop their heads up, and before it was a pretty rough area, previously, and it kind of loosened up the room a little bit, and I wasn't sure if we were going to get away with playing original songs that night, but that one snuck in, and it gave me hope that there's an audience out there for it.
Awesome. Are you going to be doing a Western tour again anytime soon? What's on the horizon for Martin Finnie? You mentioned the new band, so I guess we can kind of segue into that too.
Absolutely, yeah. Playing with a couple other individuals, Cameron Nolan, who was another drummer that I've played with in the past, and Chantel Blackbird playing keyboards. We're called Dirt Forever, and we're just in the makings of new material. So a new album is in the works, and I'm also doing a solo project. So there's going to be a couple of albums and new material in the works, and if we get the green light to tour, we're going to try and make a go of it. So.
Excellent. Name of that band again?
Dirt Forever.
Dirt Forever. Make me a promise right now.
Okay.
When you get some songs going and you're ready to record, and maybe you got the release on the horizon, you come back to Triple M with your bandmates, and we'll have you play here again.
100%.
You're good with that?
Absolutely.
Martin, thanks so much for spending some time with me on Manitoba Music Makers. You made my day. You made my day.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
A fantastic local artist. Help him out. Support him wherever you go. See him wherever you can see him, because he plays around from time to time. And he's got that new band, Dirt Forever.
You bet.
Love it. Martin Finnie on Manitoba Music Makers. That's a wrap on another fantastic show. We'll have the replay on YouTube in a few weeks, but we'll have this program pop up sporadically, let's say, throughout the month of September and maybe beyond that. And by the way, if you've got a band needs a little extra featuring, a little extra spotlight, a little extra promotion, hey, we can make it happen here with Triple M on WCG TV. Just email us. If you can put the email on the bottom of the screen, Sean, that would be great. It's fm1pr1@gmail.com. We've changed it. It's fm1pr1@gmail.com, and we'll consider you for a future episode of Triple M. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm Frank McGwire, your host. It's been a pleasure.